Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Joyful Jessie. In today's video, I am so excited to share with you my week-long meals that I did on my Instant Pot. Now that was the challenge, to use the Instant Pot for every meal, and I have learned so many great new things. So make sure to stick around and watch. So today is Sunday and we are going to make our chili, and today I'm going to be using my Instant Pot. A lot of the recipes that I'm going to be making this week, since this is the new gadget that I'm going to be playing around with, is going to be on the Instant Pot. In case you did not know, this right here holds our lid. Voila! You see that? It holds the lid. So I'm going to go ahead and saute my meat. And I had bought my meat a couple weeks ago. I bought the family pack, so I had already pre-portioned it out and had frozen it. So I'm gonna click saute. And then I'm going to go on more. I wanna saute it on high. And I'm not gonna worry about the time, because what I learned is that you can just click cancel and it'll turn that feature off. So you're gonna see that in a couple seconds here. See, it's on, it's gonna heat up. I'm gonna let it heat up a couple minutes, and then I'm going to start sauteing my meat. I'm going to be using my same recipe that I always use. It never fails. I actually have a video sharing this recipe with you. It's one of my very first videos that I put out. It's on the top right hand corner tab if you go ahead and click it. The only difference is that instead of browning my meat on the stove, I am doing it in the saute button, or the saute feature in the Instant Pot. And then instead of using pressure cooker, I'm actually going to go ahead and click slow cooker instead, because this is gonna cook as I'm at church. Okay, so this is done. Look how nice and sauteed that it all looks. Now, I couldn't find my can opener, so I had to use a knife to open my cans because I don't know where they went. Take my lid, pop it on here, put it on here, and then I'm going to, you see how it says seal? Since I'm slow cooking, I'm moving it down to vent. You want to make sure that yours says vent. We're not pressure cooking, so we don't want it to be on seal. We're using it as a vent. And then I have my slow cooker thing here as normal. I think normal is supposed to be the low for slow cooker. The more is supposed to be high. The less is supposed to be like the keep warm, which I have the keep warm button on just to make sure that when I'm in the service, it's still keeping my food warm. All right, so we have arrived home from church. Let's see how our chili is looking like. Ooh, it looks yummy. Today is Monday, and on the menu we have pulled pork sandwiches. Now this is fairly inexpensive, and I got this in my grocery haul, so go ahead and check that video out. And I'm gonna be serving it with rolls, sub rolls, and then I'll be using my gluten-free char rolls, which are by far the best rolls to use. All right, rookie here, but I'm going to actually get some good use out of this thing. I'm gonna put it in here to hold my meat. I'm gonna make I don't have broth, so I'm gonna make with 1 cup of this and 1 of these little guys. I'm gonna make myself a little bit of broth really quick. Now you do need a liquid anytime you are going to use the Instant Pot in pressure cooking mode. I'm using 1 cup of liquid. So I'm gonna put the lid on here. And based on what I looked up, apparently you cook 15 minutes per pound. That was about 2.4 pounds, 2.3 pounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook it for not 35, but let me maybe do 36. Yeah, because 15, yeah, I could do 7. Let's do 37 just to be on the safe side. It's pulled pork. It can't hurt to have it cook a little longer. Then I'm gonna let it do its jingle. I'm gonna make sure that up here is on seal, which it is. For the sides, I am making the seasoned fries, and this is for Sean and the kids because it's seasoned and it does have gluten in it. And then for myself, the shells and cheese, they're gluten-free, the Live G-free, and I think they're pretty good for it being gluten-free. Now, I did let it sit for about 34 minutes because I was upstairs. It wasn't time for dinner yet. However, as I was pulling it apart, I did notice that it wasn't as soft and pulled apart as I like it to be. So once I pulled it apart, I just stuck it back in the Instant Pot for 15 more minutes of pressure cooking. Once I did that, it was absolutely soft and tender and perfect. So I really think I just needed to add, like, instead of the 30 minutes, I should have just done 45 minutes and that would have been perfect. After those extra 15 minutes in the Instant Pot, I simply did a quick release and it was perfectly ready. And then I served it on the sub rolls, put a little bit barbecue sauce on the top, and it was absolutely scrumptious. My brother-in-law actually ended up stopping by that night and he thought they were delicious, as well as everybody else in the family, but they were absolutely delicious and he said they were perfect. Now today is Taco Tuesday and I'm going to be doing the seasoned boneless pork. It's carnitas and I had it frozen in the freezer. I wish I would have calculated that time in there because I didn't, and then I needed to add more time. So first I set it up for about an hour, but then after it was done, you know, it wasn't as soft as I wanted it to, so I ended up putting it in later on for a little bit longer. So I'm going to be making my salsa while that is cooking. I'm going to have a little bowl. We're going to need some tomatoes. I have a red onion, and I used this last week from when I made my pico de gallo as well. Some cilantro, of course, a lime, and some sort of salt. I'm going to use garlic salt today, but pretty much you are going to use as much as depending on the salsa that you are going to be making. For my family, we love this stuff, so we're going to be making about 3 tomatoes, I'd say about half a bunch of this, and about, I think this is a third of an onion, so I think it's going to be a third of a red onion. So we're going to start off by dicing our red onion and our 3 tomatoes and then our cilantro, and we're going to add the lime in there, the lime juice, and we're gonna salt it a little bit with the garlic salt. Once my pico was done, I went ahead and put it in the refrigerator to chill. And now I'm gonna be heating up my corn tortillas. I just go ahead and spray some oil on the pan, heat them up a little bit, and then I use my small Dutch oven in the back burner. I have it all the way low, and I've learned that this keeps my tortillas nice and warm the entirety of the time until we're ready to eat them. Then I went over to the Instant Pot and I learned a lot from this particular experience. Number one, I put a frozen piece of meat in the Instant Pot, and sometimes things just need more time. Number two, I did a quick release, which after reading about it recently, I found out that that's not something that you should do when you are like trying to make like pulled pork or a meat like that. So it was a little bit tougher. It was cooked, but it just was hard to shave off. So what I did was I ended up cutting it up and I put it back in there and I put it for some more time. And then that finally did make it nice and soft enough to the point where I wanted it. I think next time I have this particular situation, I'm just going to do it in slow cooker mode. I could have started this in the morning before I left to work and just let it cooking all day, and by the time I came home, it would have been perfectly done. So instead of rushing the process next time, I think I'm just going to stick to the slow cooker mode instead of trying to do the pressure cooking mode, especially when it was a frozen piece of meat. I just didn't think it through, but it was really a good experience to learn. The meat was still delicious. After that extra time that I put it in there, it was so nice, soft, and tender. And of course, the tacos were absolutely delicious, and I used the meat for the remainder of the week for lunch. Wednesday, I decided to try out the rice cooker mode in this Instant Pot. Now, every Wednesday, we always eat salmon or some sort of a fish meal. And I love to pair it with my jasmine rice. I feel like jasmine rice is the perfect particular rice for fish. So I decided to do 2 cups of jasmine rice and exactly 2 cups of water. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. I put a little bit of oil on it. And since I was using the seasoned salmon, I did not salt my rice because I feel like it's salty enough from the salmon. I went ahead and put the lid on, and all I simply did was click on the rice cooker mode. Then I came over and I oiled my pan, and I like to cook this particular salmon, which we absolutely love the Mediterranean herbs. And I started with face down first, brown the front, and then once it's browning for like 3 to 5 minutes, I go ahead and turn it over on the skin side. And I typically cook it till it reaches at least 145 degrees in temperature. Now for the sides of green beans, I like to boil my green beans first. I bring the water to a boil, then I add the green beans in for, I'd say, about 5 minutes. Then I drain the water out, and then I saute it with butter and some garlic salt. All right, guys, moment of truth. It has been doing this like slow release, I guess, for 13 minutes because I was taking care of other things, but let's see how this rice actually turned out to be. Oh, doesn't look too bad. Let me see. It's loose. It's not mushy. So I use a 1-to-1 ratio for the jasmine rice. It's soft. It really works, guys. My first time making rice in the rice cooker. Not the rice cooker, but the Instant Pot. And it came out really good and really fast. Okay, let's dig in. So this is one of our favorite meals to eat, and we always eat it family style. We put the fish in the middle, and we all get our rice with our vegetable on the side, and then we just all dig in.
It's good.
It's good? Oh, it's good. Now for Thursday on the menu, we had arroz con gandules, which is my family favorite type of rice. And I'm following pretty much the same recipe that I have in one of my most popular YouTube video has been on how to make arroz con gandules, and I'm following the same exact recipe. So if you want to see how to make this on the stovetop, go ahead and click on the top right hand corner. But for this time in the Instant Pot, this was my very first time, so I was so super excited. I started it off in the sauteed mode, and then I just let all the things saute in there with the oil, the meat, the seasonings for a couple of minutes. Then I measured out 4 cups of rice, and I used my little cup for rice to actually wash this particular rice. I like to use the medium grain Goya rice, and that one I actually do like to wash. Then after I was done sauteing my things, I went ahead and I put the rice in there, and then I measured the water that was inside the can of gandules. And since I wanted exactly liquid to rice ratio, I went ahead and I measured my 3 cups, of water. Then I measured whatever was the liquid inside the can of gandules, and whatever was the difference, I added a little bit of water in there to make exactly 4 cups of liquid. So that part is very different than the way I did it on the stove. Then I just mixed everything together, and I put the lid on and I clicked the rice button, and then I made sure that the little tab on the top was on seal, and voila, it was magical. So I had let it slow release for 10 minutes. I know it says 11 minutes because in the meantime, while I went to get my spatula and whatnot, it was another minute. So let's see, the moment of truth. Did this arroz con gandules really turned out good? Oh, look at this. Is looking good. Guys, I'm so excited. Look how quick it was done. It's not mushy. I'm not a fan of mushy rice, y'all. I like my rice to be nice and loose. The texture is amazing. Guys, this is really good. If you have an Instant Pot, make arroz con gandules in it, because it comes out perfect. Definitely a must try. Along with my arroz con gandules, I served some chicken breast with some peppers and some onions, and I like to dress it up with some Italian dressing while I'm cooking it. And my husband loves this stuff. He told me that I need to make this into a video, that I need to show you guys how to do this Instant Pot rice and how to make this particular chicken. It is Friday, everybody's favorite day of the week. At least it's my favorite day of the week. And since I had such a great success with yesterday's arroz con gandules, I decided I wanted to give this other Puerto Rican classic a try. And once again, I'm sticking to my same recipe for my beans in the Instant Pot. And this time around, I sauteed the items first, and then I went in and added my beans and my water and my potatoes last. And then I decided to give that bean button a try, and I just pushed it and let it be in there for whatever was its standard time. But it came out I'm actually nervous about this. Oh, it smells good. I was worried that it wasn't gonna get thick. Yeah, it didn't really thicken. It thickened a little bit, but not as much as I would have liked it to thicken. Try to put on saute, and I'll put it on more to just kind of bring it to a little boil maybe. I did let it simmer for about 5 minutes, and that did help with the thickening. I decided to serve this with some rice and some of the leftover pulled pork that I still had. So I have to say I am quite impressed at the ability of this machine. This particular week's experiment, I have learned so much. I have learned that, oh my goodness, this thing, you can make some really good arroz con gandules in there and rice. Just the water ratio needs to be 1:1. That's what I learned with this. I've learned that you can make meat really quickly and really delicious, but if it's frozen, we can't accelerate the process, my friends. Meat still needs time, especially when it's like pork. It always needs that time to help it soften and break down. I've learned that beans, if they're from a can, it's not worth taking the time to do it in there. Just do it in the stove. It'll be done within 20 minutes. But I can see how if you buy bagged beans to make them in there, that'd be pretty amazing. I remember my mom making beans from scratch out of the bagged hard ones in pressure cookers, and I remember how delicious that was, and how the canned ones just did not compare to the deliciousness of when you make them homemade. So maybe I'll talk to my mom and see any tips that she gives me for that, to see if I can come up with the recipe, because I've never really actually made them myself. I've learned that this machine can actually do everything that it says it's gonna do. It's a rice cooker, it's a slow cooker, it's a sauteer. I haven't tried the yogurt phase. I don't know what that would be like, because I've never made yogurt before, but I'm curious about that. I definitely give that a try. But all in all, I am so happy to keep on learning and just experimenting and trying all sorts of things. If you have an Instant Pot and there's particular things that you enjoy making, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I would love to explore that. Thank you so much for watching today, and please remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.